Hello everyone, welcome to this English lesson. In today's lesson we are going to look at grammar, going to talk about future. I'm going to talk about the future in this lesson and in the following 3 lessons. Future. What's the meaning of future? In English there are 3 main tenses. Present, I mean the present time, I mean now. Now, the time before present, I call it past. And the time after the present, I call it future. Today's lesson is about future. I'm ready to start. Let's start. Future. To talk about the future, you can use some. Still have more. You can use some of the following tenses. Number 1, future simple with will. And this is today's lesson. I'm going to talk about how to use will to talk about future in details. Going to. This is next time lesson. I'm going to talk in details how to use going to talk about future. 3, present, continuous or progressive. Soon, future. We know that present continuous, the form is be plus verb plus ing. We usually use the present continuous to talk about actions that's happening at the time of speaking. But also, it's very common to use the present continuous to talk about soon future. Like tonight, at the weekend, on Friday, for example. I'm meeting Sarah tonight. It's soon future. We don't use it when we talk about 5 or 10 years from now. It's not soon future. So, present continuous, we use it to talk about soon future. 4, present simple. Again, we usually use present simple to talk about habitual actions, routine actions. But today, you can use it also to refer to future, to talk about routine actions in the future, or what we call timetables, schedules. Like for example, when we talk about transport, stores, restaurants, schools, TV shows, opening and closing, they are usually scheduled fixed events. For example, the train here I'm talking about transportation. The train arrives at 2 and leaves at 3 tomorrow. As you can see, tomorrow is a keyword for future. So in this sentence, I've used present simple to refer to future. So just to put it together, today's lesson is about the future, ways to talk about the future. We've got so many ways we get to cover, at least 4 ways. Number 1, future simple with will. Number 2, going to. Number 3, present continuous to talk about soon future, not far future. And present simple to talk about fixed events, timetables, and schedules. Let's start with the first one, which is a future simple with will. Before we start talking about will, the same as should and shouldn't. What's will? Will is a modal verb. Modal verb. What are modal verbs? Last time we said that verbs are of 2 main types. Main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs could be auxiliary modal verbs. How? I'm going to talk in details. Modal verbs are can, could, may, the past might, shall, and the past should, will, and the past would, and must. What are modal verbs? Modal verbs are auxiliary verbs. In negative we add not, and in question we change subject, verb, order. And they come to this sentence to change the meaning of the main verb. How? I'm going to give you an example. So, modal verbs are used to change the meaning of the main verb. For example, I swim. The main verb is swim. And we have to use each of these verbs to show you how do we change the meaning of the main verb when we use a modal verb. I can swim. Here in this sentence I use can to express ability. So, number one, we use modal verbs to express possibility like I may or I might swim. Number two, I can use modal verb to express certainty. I will swim. 3. I can use modal verbs to express permission, like can I swim? Shall I swim? May I swim? 3. I can use modal verbs to express ability, like I can swim. And I can use modal verbs to express obligation, like you should go to the dentist, you should. And I can use modal verbs to express future intention, like I will swim. So, modal verbs are verbs that come to the sentence and change the meaning of the main verb. They express possibility, certainty, permission, ability, obligation, and the future intention. And will is one of these modal verbs. Okay. So today we can talk about will and want, which, as I told you, are modal verbs. By the way, want is will plus not. Why do we use will? We use will to talk about the future, to show certainty. To show certainty. When you are certain, you are sure that something is going to happen. Details get to come on the way. Okay. Please now, you need a piece of paper and a pen to take these important notes. Please, let's start together. We use will or want for the future, to make. One, spontaneous, sudden, immediate decisions or intentions. That mean they are taken, by they I mean these decisions. They are taken at the time of speaking. I'm hungry now. As a decision, I'm going to say, I will have something to eat. I'm tired. I will go to bed. I feel bored. I will watch TV. All of these are decisions, intentions, they are taken now. That means at the time of speaking. For example, ring, the phone is ringing. What's your decision now? I will answer the phone. I will answer the phone. The phone is a decision that has been taken now. I feel bored. I will watch TV. This decision, I will watch TV, again, has been taken now, at the time of speaking. So, will and want for future, number one, to make spontaneous, sudden decisions or intentions. Now, number two, I use will and want for offers. Example sentence. A, I've got a lot of work tomorrow. What do you offer him? Don't worry, I will help you. Look at this example sentence, please. So number two, we use will and want to make offers. Someone has got a lot of work. If you want to offer him help, we get to say, I'll help you. Someone is carrying a lot of boxes. I'll carry them for you. I feel bored, for example, in the lesson, someone will say, Miss, I'll open the door for you. I'll close the window for you. These are all offers. We use will and want to make an offer. So spontaneous decisions and to make offers. Number 3, use will and want for promise. Promise. We sometimes add I promise, and you can't do without it, by the way. For example, I promise I won't tell anyone. Someone tells you a secret. Someone tells you a secret, you get to say, I promise I won't tell anyone. It's a promise. It's your birthday next week. Dad says, Mom says, I'll bring you a nice present as a promise. So, spontaneous decisions, offers, and to make promises. 4, use will and want for predictions without evidence. We have to concentrate a little bit to focus with this. Listen, when I say predictions, number 1, what do you mean by predictions? Predictions is a noun. The verb is predict. Predict. Predict means it's a noun. It's a verb. Predict. To tell in advance. To tell about the future. To tell what will happen before it happens. So to tell in advance. To foretell. To predict the future. If I want to tell what will happen, to predict the future, but be careful, without evidence. I have nothing to tell me what is going to happen, only as I feel. This is my opinion, this is my experience, that's going to tell me what will happen. I'm going to tell you what is going to happen. Listen. So number 1, to use will for predictions, it's based on personal experience or opinion. So what will happen according to me, according to what I think, what I feel, according to my experience. I usually use these verbs. I think something will happen. I hope. I'm sure. I'm afraid. I doubt. I'm not sure. There is no outside evidence. This is going to be very clear when we get to read these examples. Example sentence 1. He is studying really well. Someone is studying really well. According to my experience, according to my opinion, point of view, I think he will pass the exam. So, I will pass the exam is a prediction for future that I come to it according to my opinion or experience. 2. It will be raining tomorrow. We usually use will to predict the future when we talk about weather. What will the weather be like tomorrow? It will be rainy, foggy, snowy, cloudy, whatever. So, to put them all together, spontaneous decisions, offers, promises, and now to make predictions, but based on these predictions without outside evidence. It depends on personal experience or opinion. Now, let's talk a little bit about the form. The form. Affirmative sentences, negative sentences, interrogative or questions. What do we use? As you can see, the affirmative, we use subject. Then, will, the infinitive, without to. We use the infinitive without to or the verb-based form. I will, or the short form, the contraction is I'll. I. So the order is subject, will, infinitive verb, without to. What about the negative? The negative we use will plus not, or as I told you, we use the contraction or the short form is, as you can see, want. And we use the same form with the whole subjects. Now, what about questions? We use now will, start with will, subject, so will, subject, and the infinitive without to. So as you can see, as we deal with auxiliary verbs, the modal verb will come after the subject in affirmative sentences and negatives. We use it plus not. In questions, we just change the order of subject verb. So this is all about the form. Now, if I'm talking about future, I have to talk about future time expressions. What do we mean by this? As I told you, we've got three main tenses: past, present, and the future. For every tense, I've got what we call time expressions or keywords or time expressions. For example, yesterday is a keyword or a time expression that expresses the past. Okay, present, today, now, at the moment. What about future? What are keywords or time expressions? And let's start. Later, soon, tomorrow, tomorrow afternoon, evening, morning, night, next, week, Monday, weekend, months, whatever you want. In a few minutes from now, in an hour, in 10 years. Okay, so they are all future time expressions. They are all future time expressions. When do we use them? Where do they come in a sentence? We generally use them at the end of the sentence. Sometimes at the beginning. So could you please take a look at this? Try to take notes. These future time expressions. To repeat the whole that we have had until now. We want for future. We use it for decision, sudden, as I told you, spontaneous. I'm hungry, I'll make a sandwich. Offer, I'll help you. Promise, I promise, I will not tell anyone. Predictions, without outside evidence, according to my opinion or point of view. Threat, I will call the police. It's a threat. I'll call the police. It's a threat. Refusal, I won't go to the party. Refusal. I didn't talk about these two, but I prefer to tell you about them quickly. So, decisions, offer, promise, predictions, threat, and refusal. Refusal means to say no, I don't want to. Okay, now, to put this into practice as a feedback, let's do these 5 sentences together. Complete the sentences with will and or want. Let's start with sentence number 1. 1. I will want. Go out with you tonight. I have a lot of work to finish. So, I have a lot of work to finish. I want. This is a sudden decision. It's taken out at the time of speaking. You can try and talk to her about it. Make any difference. Make any difference. It won't. Again, it's a prediction what will happen according to my opinion. I think he be a great teacher. Here in this sentence, am I offering, promising, or I'm predicting? I think, according to me, he will be. It's a prediction. A great teacher. 4. They don't have a very good team. I expect, I think, they won't win the game. 5. The new law might help a bit, but it won't completely solve the problem. Again, I'm predicting the future according to my experience. For extra activity, please do exercise 9, page 127 in the student's book. I've been Huda. Thanks for watching. See you. Bye.